Hey guys, Eyeduka is back. We got a new update for Throne of Liberty, 1.13. It's actually looking pretty good, to be honest. It's not a big update, but we got some good stuff coming up. We're gonna get the new events, the Lunar Celebration event. From what I can see, you're gonna get event coins from much more sources in comparison to the Christmas event. So let's get into it. So you can get the coins from resistance contracts, excluding item contracts. I assume they're talking about the blessing pouch, but I'm not quite sure what that means, but still resistance contracts. Dynamic events, level 50 plus arch bosses and field bosses. So yeah, that's also good. So not all the field bosses, by the way, only 50 plus. We do have a couple of them that are below 50, but most of them 50 anyway. You're also going to get it from 1 and 2 star co-op dungeons chests. It does say trials, so I'm just trying to figure out if they mean from the trials, but the trials don't have 1 star. So it looks a bit off. Maybe it's also trials, but you know, we'll see. Fishing with the new bait, which we're going to get from the rewards as well. And from Amito expeditions. So quite a few sources to get these coins, but you're going to have more things that you could buy probably. So yeah, you're going to need more of these, I guess. And the event store, it's going to be New Year Coin Exchange NPC. So we're going to get the usual stuff, like that's some of the vanity stuff, like a frame for your character, a title, Fortune's Chosen, emotes, and then it's going to be a lot of other cool stuff right now. Training due, kind of preparing us for the new masteries. So as you can see, we got them from a couple of other extra sources. That's good. Trait unlock stones, that's always good. Extraction stones, also pretty good. And then you have this rare rune category selection chest. I think we got this before as well, but then you have this, that's a new thing. From the events NPC, you're going to be able to buy rare chaos rune selection chest. Now this is looking pretty good already. That's the only other way to get the chaos right now. So definitely get into these events. If you're taking a break, now is actually perfect time to get back into it and get some good stuff from this event. And then this is kind of a normal stuff. You got Precious Active Skill Growth Book selection chest and Precious Passive Skill Growth Book. So that's already looking pretty good. Then you also have these event buffs. So basically the Happy Lunar buff is going to increase Solent and Abyssal Contract Token Efficiency and also Mastery Efficiency. So that's like the full package right there. That's pretty good. And the other one is Lucky Lunar buff, which gives you boss heavy attack and boss critical hit chance. That's pretty good as well. So yeah, you have two different decent buffs. That's nice. Notable updates, right? A new currency tab has been added to the inventory UI. This tab holds currency types items across multiple gameplay sources, reducing the amount of items that need to be held in your inventory or storage. Existing currency items in the player's inventory and storage chests have been converted automatically to the new currency tab format. This is really awesome. So they already listened to some players and already kind of taking some feedback in relation to comparing Guild Wars 2 to Throne of Liberty. Why I say that is because in Guild Wars 2, you also had a bunch of different materials that after a while, they turned a lot of them into actual currencies and they add them into sort of a tab. So they don't actually take inventory space. This is exactly what I'm thinking they did right here. I haven't logged into the game yet. I think it's still in maintenance anyway. Let's just check it out actually. Yeah, it's still in maintenance. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, definitely making inventory management easier. Numbers assigned to party members now update when the party member list is reordered. I guess, sure. I haven't really thought of this being that important, but sure. Somebody might find it interesting. Field bosses now display an UI element showing each guild's contribution percentage. That's pretty cool. Shadow Crypt, the same chests that spawn at night on Sarudomo Island, now also spawn at various locations in Shadow Crypt. Oh, that's cool as well. I don't know why they didn't add this to every single dungeon, but yeah, it's fine. That's cool. Crafting NPCs in each town can now craft up to epic tier items, making it so higher tier crafting is available in all cities. That's cool as well. It's not a big deal, but it's good. Guild buffs added 3 new types of guild buffs, boosting weapon mastery, cooking, and fishing experience, or offering guild members resurrection in small radius outside of dungeons or arenas. That's pretty awesome as well, making it even more beneficial for you to actually find a decent guild. Remove the standard experience buff from the list of available guild buffs. I mean, at this point, we all know that we don't need leveling guides. I mean, leveling in Throne of Liberty is definitely easy. Then you have adjusted the Solent and Abyss contract token efficiency buffs to provide greater benefit over a longer duration. This is pretty good as well. It's all just pros right here. Just pretty decent stuff. Dimensional Trials. Killing bosses in Dimensional Trials now offers the same boss loot chest available from dungeon versions. Okay, so finally, there's a bit more incentive for you to grind trials. I'm just trying to figure out, they say the same boss loot chest. Technically, does that mean you don't need the tokens because you have daily limit of tokens. And after that, you can still do the dungeon, but you're not going to get the final loot, the final boss chest. Does that mean that you can indefinitely farm these chests from trials? Because if that's the case, I would assume a lot of people, especially like high-end players, will just grind the shit out of this. Because before that, you only get runes. And runes is pretty good, but once you get to the end game and you get most of your runes, what you're really just expecting is chaos runes, but then this is a bit of a hardcore grind anyway. So that's just more incentive for you to do trials. Rune system expanded the capacity of rune back to 300 slots. This is amazing as well. Pretty awesome thing. It was 100 up until now. Now it's going to be 300. That's 3 times more. So much easier for you to manage. You don't have to like constantly look through them and just figure out which one you might need in the future, which one you want. And you can easily just stack way more and then just dissolve a lot of them at once. So that's pretty good as well. Then general updates for the character. You can now edit your current stats instead of fully resetting them, allowing you to adjust the current values without having to respend all points. This is pretty good as well. I mean, it's not a big deal, but definitely it's just a bit more annoying the other way when you actually had to constantly like reset the whole thing just for you readjusting a couple of points because you changed some piece of gear and now your distribution is slightly different. Now it's just much easier. That's lovely. So in terms of foods, in some cases multiple food buffs from the same category could be active at the same time unintentionally. Now only miscellaneous experience gain type food buffs can have multiple active effects at the same time. That's not bad as well. I guess they could even improve this a bit more in the future, like actually limiting you to not be able to use another food because you can easily just burn through some of your foods without realizing. Maybe they can just lock it down. And if you want to use a different food of the same type, you have to manually remove the buff you already have. So that's going to make it even more, difficult for you to waste accidentally some of your foods. But it's not a big deal anyway. Fixed an issue that occasionally prevent amateur expeditions from completing properly at the end of their timer. I haven't experienced this bug, so I don't know much about that, but if there was that, then it's fixed, so that's good. For the map, remove the ability to track players from your friends' target of interest and hostile list through minimap icons. I don't even know if this is really a good thing, to be honest, because it wasn't really a bad thing to really see on the map, hey, I have guildmates around here. There's a massive crowd, otherwise you wouldn't find them, but on the map, they actually show. The next thing for the map is actually quite nice. A weather forecast zone information on the world map. So now we're no longer going to have to go to external websites. Now you actually see the timers. I would assume that's what it means. You actually see the timers when there's going to be rain and so on. That's actually pretty good. And look at this for Arena. Purification Stone once again work in Arena. Man, that's lovely. That's super awesome. And this is actually a very good sign because this bug occurred, I think, a couple of weeks ago. It's probably not too difficult to fix, but yeah, they are listening to people and they are looking at the problems. And if something is easy to fix, they'll just fix it straight away, as you can see. I remember because just when I started doing arenas, right after that, this got bugged. And I was kind of frustrated because you really don't have many things that you can use in arenas. You're kind of very limited. And that was just one of the few things that you could use, and then there was the bug, so you couldn't even use that. So that's actually a very, very good thing. I love it. Tax delivery event has been rescheduled or adjusted to avoid overlapping with dynamic events. So that's good. The cooking recipe system unintentionally reverted to the multi-quality output version in a prior update. This has been corrected, and cooking recipes once again produce increased quantities of meals instead of different qualities when crafting. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I did notice that, and I was wondering, was that just another just going back to it? But yeah, apparently that was a bug and now they fixed it again. Yeah, I think I like the new system more anyway. Yeah, fixed an issue preventing collections of ranking rewards from Gate of Infinity when using controller. Fixed an issue preventing controllers from adjusting the tier of dimensional trial when creating a party board recruitment. Again, I'm not using controller, so I don't know much about that. Then we have Spear. Gale Rush fixed an issue where the CC removal specialization would sometimes not apply when targeting allies at a distance. I haven't used Spear that often, so I don't know much about that. Fixed an issue that could prevent Gale Rush from being used on enemy targets at slightly higher elevation than the attacker. Okay, that's good as well. Good boss, Asrael. I don't know if I pronounced the name correctly. Asrael. Okay. Adjusted the location that incorrectly retained peace status during war mod. Well, never seen that, but it's fixed apparently. City's Abyss adjusted the barrier wall preventing 2 Python points from being accessible for traversal below the eastern room. I've never experienced that as well, but yeah, I guess it's those small bugs that they fixed. Torture Chamber of Screams fixed an issue that caused Shadow of Screams to not properly follow players if they had been pushed with collision skew effect. I'm assuming this is one of the main bugs there that makes it super annoying. Very often you're supposed to be on the right spot, but yet it doesn't trigger the actual animation, and then you fail because it kind of like registers you not being on the right spot. So that was super annoying, and I hope that this is what this is. I'm not quite sure if I understand properly, but I think that's the thing that I'm talking about. You're no longer gonna have this this bug, and it will just follow you whenever you go. So I hope that this is what I'm thinking about. That's really nice. Closing your inventory after opening a container with item rewards will now also close the acquired item pop-up. Oh yeah, that happens all the time. I mean, it's not a big deal. Tooltips for gear with set bonuses now indicate which items in the set you have equipped. I haven't really noticed anything about that, to be honest. Maybe I'm not paying attention. Creating a lithograph from an item in your inventory will no longer display an untradeable result in the pre-crafting window. Oh yes, that's actually good, because when you have the tradable version, just like for extractions, for trade extraction, you can actually right-click your mouse and check directly on the action house. It's like a shortcut to directly see that specific trade and how much it costs. So now you're gonna see the same thing for lithographs, because up until now you get the non-tradable version, so you cannot actually check it on the action house. From there, you need to go manually in the action house and type the name. So that's just making it a bit easier for you to actually keep track of the prices and, you know, decide whether you wanna make the lithograph. That's actually cool as well. Added additional chat setting to the system menu, including expanded chat cover options. That's cool. Unclaimed rewards from Adventure Callers completion should trigger UI notification more reliably. Well, alright. And I haven't noticed problems with that as well. For the settings, added the option to hide the item comparison keybind hints at the bottom of equipment tooltips. You can now unselect the skill used to open the skill conversion window. I didn't really do a lot of skill conversion, so I can't really say much about that. Adjusted the color of share in chat links for dungeons to make it more readable. Fixed an unintended interaction between selected party members from the party UI while the cancel selection by clicking ground setting was active. Trade window now displays the list of current trades when viewing the convert on a locked trade submenus. But that just makes it a bit easier for people when they're doing these things, so that's cool. Equipment presets added an option to remove the equipment item from all presets if you have it saved to multiple presets. Just more stuff to the equipment preset. That's always a good thing. Just make it a bit easier to multi-class, generally speaking. So that was update 1.13. As you can see, there's quite a lot of new things, a lot of small fixes as well. Definitely a good time for you to get back in and do the new event. So that's for the new video, guys. I hope you like the new updates. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you soon.